the United Kingdom. It was once a formidable global power with significant soft power influence in the European Union as a member, but also across the world. But currently, it finds itself in a rather precarious position in the international arena. Now, in recent years, there's been a combination of factors, whether it be COVID or the war in Ukraine, has all contributed to the UK's decline in soft power. But then, the UK is also rather special. It has Brexit, which has put rocket fuel into its decline as a superpower. While India, well, it has been steadily rising to take its place ahead of the UK. It's already knocked the UK off its pedestal last year as a larger economy. Well, they're racing ahead. But the UK is, well, it's dormant. No Brexit. The monumental mistake to leave the European Union has undoubtedly, well, played a pivotal role in the UK's diminishing soft power. Now, we're now either a flip and laughing stock or a target of pity. Europeans, they're pointing and looking at us and they're saying, what the feck do you think you're doing? Brexit did this. Brexit erased statesmen and replaced them with charlatans such as Boris Johnson, such as Liz Truss. And now the worst charlatan of them all, the white-collar criminal Rishi Sunak. Well, the UK's demise started with the frauderendum, followed by the contentious and often chaotic negotiations over rather fatty pizzas. It all created uncertainty and instability, and so much flippant face palming by Europeans. And further afield, the Americans were thinking, what the hell do you think you're doing? Well, it's eroding the image of a stable and reliable partner on the global stage. The UK's abrupt departure from the European Union has also led to the alienation of some of its closest allies, such as the United States. Biden has regularly shown allegiance to Northern Ireland and pretty much said, well, no trade deal with you unless you sort this shit out. Oh, by the way, we're still not that interested anyway. Well, the Polish PM, after the frauderendum, the vote came in, and they all met up, they did. That was Boris Johnson and the Polish PM. And he said to Boris Johnson, don't come running to Poland if you need pilots as you did once before. Obviously World War II reference, I imagine. Well, trade deals have been particularly challenging for the UK. While it aimed to strike advantageous agreements post-Brexit, it has encountered difficulties, you ain't a kidding, in securing meaningful trade deals with major economies, or even rather small economies, seems to have a better end of the deal. Just look at Australia. They have 20 million people, it's a big country, 20 million people. The trade deal that was negotiated clearly benefits Australia and not the UK. Even George Useless, who was there at the time, he helped negotiate that trade deal. He said it isn't advantageous for Britain. Meanwhile, India, with its burgeoning economy and vast market potential and human rights abuses and modern-day slavery, let's be honest, has been attracting more attention from international investors and trade partners than the UK. Yes, India's knocked the UK off its pedestal in economics and soft power. You see, money, unfortunately, is power. That might change when we're all getting melted by the sun and paddling. Yeah, well, money is power. And just throwing a few WMDs in Bollywood. And India's now formidable. Well, just yesterday, I hear that the NATO Environment Summit further highlighted the UK's isolation. Ostracised, yeah. to some extent, due to its diminishing influence and strained relationships. And the UK has found itself sidelined during these crucial discussions on global environmental challenges. They said it's not good enough just having net zero policies and just talking the talk. You've got to walk the walk. We want to see changes, they said. But no, it ain't happening. So, Rishi Sunak is not going to be allowed to speak at this event. No, at the summit, no. So he's not going to attend. Just to avoid embarrassment. And he's going to send the cheese sniffer, Oliver Dowden and James Not So Cleverly instead. Wonderful. Or they'll be surrounded by other prime ministers and presidents, such as Joe Biden. I thought Rishi Sunak would want to be there to have a cup of tea in a dodgy cafe, maybe. Well, the situation not only undermined the UK's position, but also has raised questions about its ability to lead on critical issues. Well, the UK's economy, too, has been suffering the long-term uncertainty surrounding Brexit and has resulted in, fragile economic outlooks. It's not looking good. No. We have no growth. And we have a GDP that's been knocked off its pedestal by our national debt. 101% currently and growing. So with a limited offerings and diminished role on the global trade and UK's economic leverage, that has dwindled, obviously. Now we can't even secure wind power after the industry abandoned UK auctions. We were too, mean. We didn't allow for inflation and still expected companies like Vestas, a Danish company, to just agree with the UK. We're a business, we'd like to make some money, There has to be a profit in what we do. Besides, the company is struggling in its own right, you see, since Russia has held on to 10 million euros worth of wind power, wind turbine blades. Now, the UK is also having to rely on goodwill. The German car industry has actually, come to our rescue. At least they're trying to push through, an extension to alleviate the pressures of rules of origin. That's it, I'll get out in a minute. My head went blank. Yeah, rules of origin. Which was going to add another 10% to the vehicles. But Germany's actually trying to come to the rescue. Amazing. Maybe the Brexiters, they had, some foresight there, or something. But in conclusion, the United Kingdom's decline in soft power, trade, struggles and isolation on the international stage are, intricately, connected to the aftermath of Brexit. And as India rises in prominence and the UK, grapples with a diminished influence, it can't even get itself a decent trade deal with India. Probably because we starved, was it 15 million of their people? Yeah. What did they say? Greatest prime ministers we ever had. Was it Churchill? Yeah. Sounds a bit murderous to me. But anyway, it faces an uphill battle in regaining its once prestigious position in the world. Not anymore, is it? No. Somehow we've got to try and rebuild relationships and secure favourable trade deals. And revitalising the economy. These kind of essential steps, really, in reversing this trend and restoring its global standing. But if you ask me, what I see it is until we get closer alignment with the European Union, I'm not so saying rejoin or join the European Union. No, I can't see that happen for a very long time. But we need to soften our stance with it so we can gain some respect. Instead of those on the other side of the channel just pointing and laughing at us. You done what? Yeah. And then we have Brexit, like, well, if we don't deal with that, it will be a death by 1,000 cuts, destroying ordinary people's ability to survive in an environment of economic uncertainty. Yes, we need our politicians to get a grapple of this without them doing something positive. There is no light at the end of the tunnel. Sorry, just as I say it. What say you? Please leave it in the comments down below. And I do actually read the comments, but you probably already know. I hope that's where I stumbled a couple of times. Try to get all the stuff out of my head. It's not that easy, you know. Anyway. If you want to support the channel, you do it on Patreon or buy us a coffee, and the links are down below, and it is very much appreciated. I couldn't do it without it. I'm getting to that point where I'm wondering whether I should be doing it. Anyway, there's links down below, but also we've got memberships as well. Yeah. Oh, we're also doing rewilding here in France. We're planting trees. Yeah, 1,000 trees on 2 hectares of land. We're doing our own little bit of offsetting, I suppose, to try and alleviate anything that we do that is not 100% tickety-boo. It's planting trees, and if you'll be a part of that, there's a GoFundMe link down below. Basically, you can buy a tree, you can contribute, and we will make a sign to go with the tree, have your name on it, or be in memory of a loved one, or a pet, or whatever you like. Also making bat roosts, bird houses, little bird boxes and stuff. Also for the owls as well. Yeah, just put another coat on this one, so it's about to go be put on the wall. Yeah, for the little Schwitz, little tiny, little owls. That sort of stuff. Anyway, links down below if you want to know more about it, and I hope you have a lovely day. I'm sorry if it's a bit depressing, but it's a bit hard not to, well, I can't lie, so got to tell the truth, haven't I? So, ta-ta.